Yes, I sent my good on a long text message last night explaining that it can be both big and beautiful, okay? So what I wanted to make sure that he understands is that the projection that he's referring to and others is from the CBO, the Congressional Budget Office. They are historically totally unreliable.
Historically, totally unreliable. Don't put any stock in what the CBO says. That is Mike Johnson. He would never buy the garbage BS that the CBO is pushing, except all the many times he did when far smaller projected numbers were enough to scuttle the whole thing. Joe Biden, Democrats, you can't do that. You can't add to the deficit. There's nothing big and beautiful about infrastructure. No, it's big and beautiful when you're giving money to Mark Zuckerberg and Jeff Bezos and George Soros. That's what's big and beautiful. Paying off donors is beautiful. So anyway, Representative Veronica Escobar went back through Mike Johnson's Twitter feed to find the examples that we're gonna show you of him being so happy that the CBO exists in the past. So back in 2021, he said this about the Build Back Better Act. Now that CBO has confirmed this bill adds nearly $400 billion to the deficit, contrary to the White House's claim that the bill is paid for, let's see if the moderate Democrats keep their promise to only vote for a bill consistent with White House estimates. So bear in mind, the CBO in this particular case, in this estimate, is saying that their big, ugly bill will add over $3 trillion. So 3 trillion, you're biased, man, you know what you're talking about. 400 billion, as we dig out of the worst public health crisis in the last century in America, try to restart the economy, fix supply chains, invigorate the economy, for about 1/9 what he's handing over to millionaires and billionaires. That was unacceptable. Payoffs to the donors, totally cool, get all the way off his back about it. By the way, that same year, he stated that House members should not be expected to vote on important bills before getting some help from the CBO, saying late tonight, Dems announced we will be voting at 8 a.m. tomorrow on their utterly reckless tax and spending big government socialism bills. After months of chaos and disarray, the latest Build Back Better bill version was just filed yesterday. It's impossible for members to actually read and fully digest this 2,100-page monstrosity before the vote, much less obtain an objective CBO score of its total cost. We can't do this until we get the CBO. We need the CBO until they're back in power. And then the CBO matters as much as the deficit or the national debt dues, which is not at all. Who cares about it? What do you think?
I mean, this is just blatant hypocrisy, right? I mean, members of Congress do it all the time. Speakers do it more than anybody. But we were talking about it earlier, you cherry pick your numbers, but this is not cherry picking numbers. This is saying that I trust a source who I now don't trust, and then I trust them again. I mean, this is really, I mean, this is very, very Mike Johnson, right? Whatever's convenient, whatever sounds smooth, I'm gonna go after it. And well done by Veronica Escobar. I mean, going and finding this stuff, which didn't take a lot, but thinking that, okay, I've heard differently from the speaker before, going back and finding that stuff, she and her staff should be applauded for what they've done here. Because when you expose hypocrisy, it doesn't matter a lot, right? I mean, it's not gonna change Mike Johnson, it's not gonna make people not listen to Mike Johnson who are already in his camp, but it does point out the massive hypocrisy. And there are some people in the Republican caucus, the Thomas Masseys and others, who do go after the speaker for this sort of thing. So maybe it'll have legs, but it's just convenient.
Anytime I think about this deficit hawkery, fakery from the Republicans, it just kind of gets on my nerves. It makes me want to go crazy, because this deficit as a talking point started during the first Obama administration with the teabaggers, and then pointing to the deficit and being like, oh, the Democrats are crazy, reckless spenders, blah, blah, blah. Meanwhile, we just came off of 2 Bush administrations where this guy put 2 freaking wars on a credit card. Literally, that's what got us started on this deficit path. It's the war in Iraq and the war in Afghanistan that we didn't pay for. We didn't bother trying to pay for, because they knew to be like, oh, we're gonna cut like social goods and cut all of this different stuff so we can go to Iraq. Like, no. And they've been doing this hypocritical stuff pretty much ever since, and never in any Republican administration, probably in history, I might be wrong, but definitely not of the 20th and 21st centuries, have these guys ever decreased the debt? They always increase it every single time. Not to say that Democrats don't too, but it's not one of their main party platforms. Like, we need to reduce the debt. They never do it. This bill is nothing but a huge government spend on the very richest in our country. Like, this guy knows he has no leg to stand on, and so he's he's going on Fox News and just lying.
Yeah, it's the pattern that we've seen. This is why a Republican president gets elected, to come in, transfer wealth to the rich. That's it. Blow things up, probably lose the midterms, probably lose the next election. Democrat comes in, tries to fix it, can't fix it in time, gets sent out. Republican comes in, hands billions to the wealthiest people, or trillions to the wealthiest people. It's just what we see. Like, it's just Black Friday at Walmart. They win the election, they rush in the door, they start taking stuff, that's it. It's when a new delivery of Pokemon cards shows up at Target. They're just on top of it. They take as much as they can, everything's destroyed, and then we have to sift through the wreckage. That's all it is. Talking about fiscal discipline when you're handing $4.5 trillion to the wealthiest. And again, as I said on the show, I think last week, you'll notice it never changes. It's 4.5 trillion, not 4. We're not doing 3.8.
Right.
It cannot budge an inch. It has to be $4.5 trillion. And we have to add $150 billion to the largest military budget our species has ever seen. And we have to spend hundreds of billions on additional border security. And Donald Trump needs to have a $90 million birthday party parade. He has to, he really likes tanks. Fiscal discipline, get all the way the hell out of here with that. I'm not gonna swear and get fired for that.
Every time you ring the bell below, an angel gets his wings. Totally not true, but it does keep you updated on our live shows.